Okay, so I just wanted to show what kind of flooring we're going to be using today. And the laminate flooring that we're going to be installing is a Delmar collection. I'll go real slow here so you can see the info on it. See the size of the boxes. Okay, so if you're a homeowner doing it yourself, I don't think I would recommend this product to someone that's not had experience in it and has all the proper tools, because this stuff is pretty challenging to work with if you're not used to dealing with it. So if you're just wanting to do something yourself, I would definitely recommend a Shaw product. Shaw flooring is probably the easiest products to install, whether it would be vinyl, laminate, LVP, carpet. Shaw is just such an installer friendly product. They put a lot of thought in their product for the installers whenever they're making it. So something that do-it-yourselfers out there might think of, Shaw flooring is the easiest installing flooring that I've come across. So, however, this is a really nice looking floor. The Delmar collection is definitely a nice looking floor, but it is a little bit tougher to get the stuff locked in and get it together. So just wanted to point that out. So first thing we're going to do is tear all the carpet out. As you can see, I've already cut it in strips, make it small enough to get it where we can handle it and get it out of here. So we're going to cut that up, get it out, get the pad up, tack strip, take the baseboards off, and get going. So we got the carpet and pad up. Now we're going to take the tack strip up. So set it right there. This is on a wood floor, so it's real easy to do. So what I want to do is just get started right under the nail. I don't want to come in the middle, but I want to go right under the nail. Once you get it started, if it's on wood, if you'll just work your sumo lifter or your pry bar right under the nails, it'll come up real easy. Got the tack strip coming up, so as he's pulling the tack strip up, I want to go ahead and come behind where he's already got the tack strip up and start pulling base. Again, I hope this is at a good view. So when you pull your base, you want to take a utility knife, or I always use a carpet knife, and just cut the caulking. I want to go right at the top here, right where the base meets the wall, and cut the caulking. Down the side of the door jamb. What that does, that prevents you from ripping the sheetrock paper. When you pull it off, if you don't cut that, you're going to pull the paper up and you're going to have a big bad spot right there where you got to patch the sheetrock. So I always want to make sure you cut that. Bends, I am putting the underlayment down. This is going to be raised up a ½ inch. So it's going to cover any imperfections of the wall right here at the top. So I want to start my sumo lifter at the top. It's kind of contradictory. I mean, contrary to a lot of people probably won't agree with that, but means it is going to be raised up a ½ inch. Anything that happens here or on top of the base, because I'm going to caulk it whenever I put it back so it looks finished, it's going to cover anything up. Rather, if I pound my sumo lifter in here, it damages the bottom. It's going to be sitting on a fresh new wood, so it's going to, you're not going to be able to cover that dent up if you dent the wood, if you dent the baseboard getting it off. So I always start from the top. After I get it going, then I'll turn my sumo lifter around, and I will still get this part of my sumo lifter down behind the base and push. That way, just if it does dent, it's going to be a little bit back there. See, that didn't get cut all the way through. I want to make sure I stop and cut that. Okay, to make sure that when we put our base back, it's going to sit flat on the wall. We got a lip right here of caulking. So I want to take my knife. We are going to be raising the base up a 1/2 inch for the under laminate. So I'm just going to cut my caulking off right like that, all the way around, and peel it right off. That way it's nice and flat. Don't have any kind of lip or anything. That's going to prevent the base from going right back to it. So the closer the base is to the wall, the less caulking we got to use, which is going to look better. So I want to cut all that old caulking off. We will actually go around also as well. Any caulking that's on the base like that, we're just going to take and shave that off too. Want to make sure our base and our walls is as clean as possible before we put the base back. It's just going to get better results. And as far as the nails that stick out, I got some tile snips that I use for nail biters. If you just grab them and roll it over, it's real easy because this is kind of rounded here. So you just grab it, roll it over. Same thing if it's in the sheetrock, just grab it and roll it over. Channel locks, pliers, anything work like that. I just find that these tile snips work just fine. So that's how we get base off. Okay, so we got the tack strip off, the baseboard off, everything cleaned up and ready to go. The next step is to cut the door jambs. So just show you how I do that. So I'll take a piece of my product here that's already cut. We do have a pad going under this too, which is maybe 1/8 of an inch thick. So what I will do is take this, and if you see that just the thickness of the pencil from my lead to my actual outside of my pencil here, I just want to take and lay my, first thing I did is sweep this out. I don't want any garbage underneath here because it's going to make it raised up. A lot of people will set the product there, just take their saw and cut right there. Well, that's okay and all, but I prefer to do this. It gives me just a little bit of play here. So if you see right there, it actually gives me just about the right amount for my pad. See how where my mark is right there? So I'll just mark that out with my pencil. All I'm doing is just holding my pencil flat, and it's giving my mark just a little bit higher there. And that's how I want to do it. Well, I don't have to have my board there or anything when I cut. Now, this is just a little, I don't even know what you call these tools, but anyways, it's Makita, and just take and cut it right off there. I hope it's not too loud. Since I have vinyl in here and I don't have to go all the way inside there, if I went all the way in to this side here, when I put my trim piece down here, I'd have a big hole showing underneath my door jamb. So I just went a little bit, and after it's cut, I'm going to take my flathead screwdriver and put in behind this, snap it off right there. Now that's going to be perfect. It's going to be just a little bit high, but by the time I get my pad down there, see that? I got just enough height there for my pad, and then it's going to be nice right there. It's going to be high enough where I'm not going to be struggling trying to get under there and stuff. So that's just the way I do my door jambs. So now what we're doing, we ain't done a final sweep, just a rough sweep here so we can see anything that needs scraped up. The next thing is we're going to scrape the floors. We want to go around all of the floors and scrape off anything, you know, this old pad glue like this. We want to scrape that up so there's no bumps. Sheetrock mud, anything that's a hump, all this stuff like this, see that? We want to make sure we get all of this stuff up. So long as it's flat, it's okay, but if it's humped up where it's going to cause a little hump or anything in the boards, we want to get it up. You know, you may not even notice it
if it's small, but if it's something small like this, and then when you step on it, it's going to crunch, and then you're going to hear it crunching when you walk on it. So you want to get your floor really good and clean. I mean, even something this small, when you crunch on it with a piece of wood, walking on it, you're going to hear stuff like that. So we want to get all the mud that we can up and everything. Something I forgot to mention a while ago when I was talking about the scraping is you always, if you're on a wood floor, you always want to check your seams in your subfloor, making sure that they're not going to be too high. They all need to be pretty level for a laminate floor. So I've already got all my pieces right here pre-cut because we're working on 245 ends. So to get the end joints in there, I want to just pick it up at an angle here. And I got my line right here is the main thing. You want to keep this nice and flush. You're just going to pull in and push down at the same time. That's good. And then I'm going to work a whole row of this at one time. So I'm going to raise the back of it up here just a little bit. Set it in that little groove. Make sure my ends are good. And just kind of raise up and push it in. It's only going to go so far with your fingers. So I got a tapping block here, which is really convenient. I'm going to try to put my knee on that, and I'm going to just tap it in here. There you go. So I'm not too concerned about the spaces right yet. I want to actually keep it good and solid up against there. So when I'm tapping my next boards in, they're got something solid to hammer to there. We'll go ahead and put this ends together. Again, want to make sure this is nice and flush. After I get enough to where I can actually get over there and work on the wood, then I'll get my my gaps adjusted and stuff like that. Right now I just want something to hammer to make sure I can tap on something solid. There we go. Again, I'm getting the angle and pushing in. It's tight right there, but keep in mind we're going to be pulling away after we get it all set, so those will have gaps in it like it should be here in a few, because you definitely want to leave you some expansion room. Okay, so we're to the point where I'm fixing to have to make this rip now to join this together, join this next row. So I went ahead and I slid my row back away from the wall, and it allowed my gap as it should be. So to get this cut right here where it's going to wrap around that part, what I did, I kind of just spaced this gap and got it even pretty much just by the eye. I didn't measure it, but that's pretty close. And what I want to do to get this cut here is, I got this even all the way down through here, I want to just go from that to this board right here, and that's about 7/8. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do about 7/8. If I need to come in or out just a little bit, that's fine, because that's actually about 3/4 or so. But when it gets right there, so 7/8 is what I need to take off of this board and that board, and then it should be enough off to where I can slide this row together. So we're to the finishing up row, fixing a ripper board to put in this sliver by the wall to be the last run in this room. So we want to, before we measure and mark our boards and cut them, we want to come over here to the opposite side of the room, make sure that this is right, which it is not, because we've been tapping the boards together all day on this, so it's worked its way back that way. So before we measure and mark over there, we're going to get this back right so we're not too tight when we pull it over, okay? So I'm going to take a sumo lifter. I'm going to put it right here on the sheetrock nail because I know there's a stud there, and that's where I'm going to pry on it and push it out. Watch how easy the whole thing moves out. What is it? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So now we got a considerable gap right there. Yeah. Say it again? Yeah, we can keep them here and we'll use them the rest. It don't matter. They're outside. We might as well just stick them on the van. It'll be easier.
End of day 3. We got the master bedroom done today. It turned out looking pretty nice. We didn't get the closet though. Customers didn't have it cleared out for us, which is okay anyway, because it's time for us to leave. So anyway, we got the master bedroom done. Everything looks really good. Turned out nice. So